Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Mosquito. Welcome to The Buzz, along with my co-host, Maureen.
Nylene.
And we're here with a Friday recap of what's been happening in our world and around our industry. So, again, we just came off the road from HIMSS 2025 in Las Vegas, where we had a great show. We were able to see a lot of people. Maureen, who do you think did we do a good job while we were out there?
Well, of course we did a good job, Mike. Do we ever not do a good job? We had so much fun. Oh my gosh, my stomach is still sore from laughing. We met phenomenal people, really great thought leaders. I am so blessed by that entire experience. And the HIMSS team was just so great. So great.
Yes. So I think that, a successful conference means you were engaging current, existing
Mhm.
colleagues and meeting new. And we were also seeing technology that we hadn't seen before. So I think there was a lot of introduction of the agentic AI that was a buzzword out there. I know we had a conversation with Shez Partovi
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Philips about agentic and what's happening over in their space.
Yeah.
But I think that, we've got a lot still going on in our industry that needs to be addressed by our vendors and partners of industry.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what I really appreciated so much as a clinician? Shez really focused on it's not a replacement for our clinicians, it's an augmentation. And just being able to say that repeatedly,
Right.
it means a lot as a clinician because all of us want to know that we're still going to be connected to our patients. So I appreciated that very much that he called that out.
And for those that don't know, agentic AI is really the next evolution of AI, where it has autonomy, where it can plan, it can mitigate and act upon a plan on its own without human interaction. So it's adaptable. It's how does it problem solve? All of this is coming in AI. And so that also brings a lot of other problems along with cyber, because now it can be predictive and mask itself while moving around your metrics that are predictive and planning how to keep AI out of your environment. Again,
Oh.
these are the next steps that are coming our way. How do we keep AI out of our environment and keep it in our environment at the same time?
Yeah, good luck with that one. I don't know
Yeah,
how
good.
that's gonna happen, but I do know that we also had a conversation with Lee Kim, and she talked about the cybersecurity that we need to be aware of, especially for those that are startups. And so having that discussion with her was really crucial. She was really fantastic. And of course, she wanted to spill a little dirt and we wanted the dirt to be spilled and we got a little something, but we're going to have her back because I think there's a lot more behind Lee Kim's profile than what she even had as our initial taste.
I agree. I think having that conversation about AI and how do you plan with resiliency. I think that talk track is going to continue. I think we'll see a lot more of that on stages throughout this year. So I think that planning for the inevitable is
Yeah.
part of the current continuum of IT and healthcare IT today across all industries.
Hmm.
None of us are going to be excluded from an attack, as most of us have a notification somewhere in our home
Oh
from some
yeah.
company that said your information was leaked.
Oh
So it
yeah.
really is about how do we adapt to this. I
Yeah.
think another good interview was we had Hal Wolf come on,
Oh, I know.
the CEO and president of HIMSS. So it
Yeah.
was good to hear his voice.
It absolutely was. And it's always good to hear from a CEO perspective, really, where are they heading to next? Because obviously that is the direction that he sets the direction for the organization and just having his voice and really providing that next forward thinking vision. What's coming down for him? Because at the end of the day, these conferences, we've talked about this, they're expensive not only to attend for a participant but also for vendors. And how do we keep engaging, because those are crucial conversations that happen both through education sessions and then just also the ability to get into the floor and see the technology and begin to ask questions about it. So as we look ahead, how do we stay nimble and keep that affordable for everybody? And I think, Mike, the other thing is too, we know that policy and some of the changes within that Washington D.C. space that could have a significant impact on the dollars that are available.
That's what we're starting to hear, right? We're starting to hear, the slowing of purchasing some technology because people, their funding is going away or it's been removed. They just don't have the funding available to them with this current
Right.
administrative change. And so I think that we may see a slight slowdown in high tech and emerging technology purchases happening in our healthcare systems and within this space. I hope not, but if you've lost your funding for some of these advanced technologies being utilized or being implemented, you don't have a choice. You've got to find a way to optimize what you have, use
Right.
the resources you have without having to get rid of people. That's the
Yeah.
other side of this, right? You have
Right.
resources you want to keep. And
Right.
so I really think that policy conversation is going to continue. There are a lot of talk tracks about that out on the street right now. So I think as we go to more conferences, we'll hear more about that. I think we had a flavor of that with some of our other podcast interviews last week, and
Hmm.
where they're starting to take their companies. We had Natera
Yeah.
come through with John Lee, Rachel Weisberg hosted him in our podcast booth. We had Sarah Sample Reith from Zavaro, a Trace 3 company,
Yeah.
talking about where they're moving and how they're adjusting to this new landscape. So we had some very good conversations. I think one of the biggest ones though last week was a new technology, or not a new technology, but another company new to us, which is Ambience, with
Yeah.
Sarah and Jamie that
I
came through.
know. And that was so cool because they talked about doing the Bake Off competition and really now their success with Cleveland Clinic. And what I really appreciated though, Mike, at the end of the day, it was all hard ROIs that were attached to it. We have a
One
lot
hundred.
of these conversations, and yes, there's all of the soft aspects that are important. And I'm not wanting to downplay those, but it's the hard ROI that actually gets the CFO to want to sign on the check. So, it was great having them on.
And that's the question of the day, right? What do you when you define ROI? What are you defining? And I
Yeah.
talked about that on stage with Shez. That was one of the tidbits I like to leave an audience with is when you talk about ROI tied to product, be very careful because the CFO is in play and he could care less about your soft ROI until he sees some of the hard ROI coming his way. That means there's cash behind it for the
Yeah.
health system. So that's a very good talk track for Ambiance to bring forward. And I like that bake off,
I do too.
get
I
them
know, it's
all
just
in there and
fun.
see who shines.
It's fun. May not have been cupcakes, but they're making wonderful things happen over there and being able to share their story. That's just it's a fun topic to be a part of.
It really is. And for bringing all that under one roof, Hims did a great job of showcasing that, marketing it, and then pushing it back out to the audiences, including those booths like Philips. We met with Aaron Hillman, showcasing the informatics side of Philips and what's
Yes.
going on in that space. They have
Yes.
some great and neat technology that's hit the streets that's now
Mhm.
in health systems. So it was great to have that conversation with him where he could showcase where Philips is going and how they're bringing those providers along with them.
Their booth was probably one of my favorites to be in because it made me feel very much at home looking at, they had the cot sitting out there and then they had all the electronic equipment where you're sitting up, it was an enriching experience as a nurse because that's where you really see the magic happen. It's those tools, it's that technology that is meaningful not just to the clinician but also to the patients and their families. And so that yeah, it was like a little touch of home. I don't get a whole lot of that in my current job, but man, when I see it, I geek out.
I know you do. I see it happen. For y'all that don't know, this lady is a geek and a nurse.
Oh,
And
yes.
it shows up. It shows up in the right setting, and it showed up in the Phillips booth. So thank you, Phillips, for allowing us to be in your booth, shoot a quick short with you, and showcase what you're doing. I think that as we talk about these technologies and where they're going, it is really about being able to put them in front of more people, give them a
Mhm.
voice where we can introduce them to more C-suite executives that are having to make these decisions.
Yeah.
So that's part of what the buzz is doing is bringing these technologies back to you when we're introduced or brought to a conference. What does that mean for you?
Right.
That means that we are showcasing the best of the floor has to offer. And we want to thank Christine and Albie for making sure we were in the right places and giving us a voice and showcasing us all over HIMSS last week. That was
Yeah, yeah, because you've got to let the listeners know if they haven't already seen it. Thanks to Christine and Albie, we had a very, very nice guest on our podcast.
yes, we did. We had Daymond John from Shark Tank
Yeah.
introducing his new platform called the Health Shark, where he is trying to empower and enable new innovation in the healthcare. Again, he's an innovator himself, he's an inventor, he's an entrepreneur. His job is now to help healthcare transform with some funding and finding those new opportunities to enhance the healthcare experience in the
Absolutely.
underserved and those needed populations.
Yeah. And what I really loved was his personal story. And had it not been for his personal story, I don't know that he would feel as passionate about connecting back to innovation within healthcare. Certainly, we know his counterparts, Mark Cuban and Robert Herjavec, both have inroads into healthcare. So now he does as well. And again, I'm going to talk about these shoes, Mike. I need Sarah Blakely to come on to the
I,
HIMSS experience with us because, man, those sneaks last week were the hit.
you killed it with those sneaks. You broke the internet with those sneaks last week. You know, Sarah's company is right down the street from me here in Atlanta. So when you're in Atlanta again, maybe we'll go knock on the door and see if
Yeah.
we can get her on camera. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll put the invite out. Sarah, hopefully you read this, see this, hear this, and you will come on the buzz and we'll talk about how your sneaks broke the internet and introduce something new to conference feet for women.
I'll tell you, that really was out of all of the posts that I've done on LinkedIn, it had the most impressions ever. So women connect back to shoes in a very phenomenal way. I know HIMSS was very important, but it seems like the shoes resonated, especially for women that attend these conferences.
Well, when you're walking 25,000 steps a day, you
Right.
need to have something that can make you look good, also feel good at the end of the day when you take them off. So
Right.
you did a great job. You looked great all week.
Thank you.
We couldn't get enough pictures or stopped enough times for people to take pictures of your feet all week long. So
That
again,
is
another
true.
successful moment.
Normally that could be very creepy, but in this particular situation, it was okay. I was all right with it. Yeah. But Mike, you as well looked phenomenal. You are always a sharp dresser and definitely set the tone for all conferences and how men can carry themselves. So congratulations to you as always.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, I'm not the jogging suit type to be at conference, so it is carry your own style. If it fits you, suits you, and you can introduce your technology without being a distraction, do you. But
Right.
I think that the conference was a hit. I think that we had a great time in Las Vegas last week. Looking
Yeah.
forward to what's coming next in conference season. I'll be in Austin, Texas next week at the Millennium Alliance Conference,
Yeah.
speaking and giving a workshop. So that's going to be fun. I think we've got some other opportunities coming up this spring where we'll be out and about. So I'm looking forward to that. Texas Regionals, you and I will
Yeah.
be there. So
Yeah.
Texas Regionals, we're coming. We'll be
Get
emceeing and we'll
ready.
be showcasing some media there with you. So we're looking forward to our HIMSS events. Our Georgia HIMSS event is coming right after Texas Regionals. We'll
Yeah.
be in Georgia
Yeah.
with the gala and golf tournament for Georgia HIMSS. So
Mm.
we've got a
Lots of
busy,
fun things happening
lots of fun things happening.
and a
Any
lot of
fun?
things brewing. A lot
Yeah,
of things brewing. So
yes.
people stay tuned because I do think we're going to have some other exciting announcements about where we'll be.
Yes, I think people are going to be excited to see what's coming up next. So we've got some things coming up. We hope you'll keep following the buzz, like and subscribe when you see these podcasts drop. If you have a topic that you'd like to bring onto the show, give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. Our job is to introduce innovative, emerging, and thought-provoking topics. Sometimes that don't want to be heard but need to be heard, but we like to introduce them to you, our audience. And I've got a
Mm.
great brain here next to me that keeps me out of trouble. That way the nurses won't throw daggers at me for saying something crazy about them.
You always like to say that I carry your bail money, but I don't know that I have enough money to keep you out of trouble all the time, Mike. So, if you want to sponsor the buzz and also assist with the bail money and just, help me out a little bit, that's okay. We can do that too. But no, I love joining you on all of these conversations. We always have such a blast together.
It's always a great time, and we look forward to adding more people to this conversation. So if you want to see more of the buzz, don't forget to like and subscribe. And Mike Mosquito and Maureen
Nylene.
is going to be with you every step of the way to introduce new and next. So till next time, keep buzzing.
Thank you for following the Buzz Podcast. We look forward to bringing you more thought-provoking content and personalities. Please like and subscribe on your favorite channel.